Hello everyone. So today we are going to solve the problem number 767, reorganize string on LeetCode. So the problem is quite straightforward. We are given a string S. We need to rearrange the characters of S so that any two adjacent characters are not same, and we have to return any possible rearrangement of S, and if there are no arrangements possible, we need to return an empty string. So as we can see in the first example, we are given A, A, B. So on rearrangement of this where there are no repeated characters can be A, B and A. And in example 2, we see A, B, and there are no rearrangements possible where we do not have any repeated character. For example, we can have A, B, A, A, B, A, and B, A, A. So in all the possibilities, there are at least one pair of characters that is being repeated. So this is the problem, and let's see how we can solve this problem. So in order to solve the problem, we need to observe one thing, that if the characters are not repeated, they need to be placed at a distance of one from each other. So like this, here we need to place some different character, and here in the gaps we need to fill with different character. So what we can observe is, if we get the frequency of each character, for example here the frequency of A in AAB, the frequency of A is 2 and the frequency of B is 1. So we will first try to fill out at odd places and then at even places, or we can do the vice versa. So we'll first try to fill out A here, and since there are no A's remaining, and we also know that the length of the result will also be of 3. So once we go out of this result, we again start filling from the center. So we fill the center B here. Let's take a bigger example. A, B, B, C, D. So how we'll fill this? Zero index, first index, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seven. Zero, second, fourth, sixth. So we'll first fill A, 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 and A. And now we'll try to fill over here, but we can see that this index is out of range. So we'll move our index to here and start filling from this index. So what we observe is, if we had A more than half the sizes, then A would come here and it would make the repeated string. So this is where the problem lies, that we cannot have more than half the number of length of the string. So once we fill all these, we will fill B, B, C, and D. So the only observation we need to make is the length of the maximum frequency character, which is A here. Frequency of A is 4, B is 2, C is 1, D is 1. So the length of the maximum frequency character should be less than the half of size of string. So that's the only observation we need to make, and the rest of the characters can be in any number, because once we fill, suppose we have lesser number of A's. So suppose we have only three A's. So how would we have filled A, 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 and then suppose we have three B's. So three A's, three B's, and to make it eight characters, let's take two C's. And so we can see that A's are already separated, B's will also be separated, because this is the second most frequent element, so it will not go till here. Then we'll fill out B's and then the remaining C's. So it characters. So that's the only requirement we need to have. So what we need to find is get the frequency of each character and check if the maximum frequency is less than or greater than the half size of the string, and if it's not, then we can have the resultant answer. And how we'll form the answer? We'll start filling from the even indexes, zeros, 2, 4, and once our index goes out of range, we will move our index back to 1. Then again we'll increase our index by 2. So 1, 3, 5, and so on. So let's see how to code it. So what we first need is the frequency of each character. So we can say, where traverse in string s, and let's get the frequency of each character. So now we got the frequency of each character. Now we have to find the maximum among them. So we can either sort it, or we can simply get the maximum. So let's sort it here. To sort, we need a different structure. So we will use pairs of vector. So pair of int and pair. We normally traverse the map x in map b dot stack. So we will first push the second element, that is the frequency of the map. X dot second, then x dot first. So now we have in our vector the frequency and then the character whose frequency it is, and we need to sort this in ascending descending order. So in order to get the maximum element first, we dot sort v dot begin v dot end, and in order to have it in descending order, we will have greater, and the data type we are pair of int char. So greater pair of int char, and our data is now sorted in descending order. So we first need to check if the first element, so be at 0 dot first, frequency of the highest character is greater than s dot size s1 by 2 or not. If it is greater, we know that our answer cannot be possible, because there will be one character will be repeated, as you can see here. So we'll simply return a empty string. And if it is not the case, our answer will exist. So what will the size of our answer? It will be same as the length of the s. So we will initialize answer with s, and now we simply traverse the given vector v and we also need to take an index starting from 0, and for each character we will have size or count of the character. Count equals x dot first and the character itself. So char ch is x dot second. Now while this count minus is greater than 0, what we will do, we will try to fill the characters. We also need to make sure if index becomes greater than size of the s, we need to move the index back to 0, no, back to 1. We've already discussed it. And if everything goes well, we need to simply fill the character at index place with ch, and we need to move index by 2 places in each step, and finally we will return the answer. Let's test it out. So I have done Mr. Bracket over here, stock size. Now the sample test case is got accepted. Let's try to submit it. So sorry, I forgot to put the equal to here. So now let's run it. So our code is getting submitted successfully. Now let's analyze time complexity. So in the map, we are first getting the size of each character. This will be n log n, and we are simply taking a pair of vectors, copying values, sorting it, and then again putting traversing values. So the overall time complexity will be n log n, and the space complexity will be big of n. So thank you. See you in the next video.